In this Stellar Blade video, I'll be walking you through the best tips you should know to enhance your playthrough experience. Let's get started. Stellar Blade's side quests and side content are essential for large XP gains and will also allow for exploring areas of the game that were previously locked. As an example here, this area in Ido 7 was previously locked out, but once you have a side quest that allows you to lower the water levels, an entirely new section opens up.
This program is responsible for breaking the drainage system.
Here's another example of a boss encounter that shows up at the end of a side quest that ended up being really fun and challenging. The rewards and materials you gain from these are well worth your time. The side quests and side content can be best taken advantage of by scanning the area constantly, looking for anything yellow that is revealed in the scan, which will lead to places you have missed. These will provide you with materials and unlockables that you would have otherwise missed in your playthrough. Another piece of side content is unlocking the salon for Eve's different hairstyles and hair colors. You can start this quest called First Customer with an NPC named Kazim in Zion, which will then have you collecting 3 items in the wasteland. Once collected, return to Kazim to open Gwen's hair salon to customize Eve's hair. The Bulletin board is an all-in-one quest location that allows you to accept quests and complete them. A tip here is to be sure to check the Bulletin board often as you progress through the game, as new quests will pop up on this bulletin board that do not show up on the map. There are also multiple bulletin boards and not just the one in Zion. As an example here, this is another bulletin board in the wasteland. Another great feature the bulletin board offers is a quick teleportation back to the board to complete quests on the fly. So what I typically did was I waited to get all the side quests completed, and then I would teleport at the end to turn them all in. Stellar Blade's fast travel system is very convenient. However, they do not automatically become available unless you use them first. As an example here, there are multiple fast travel points that are located within Zion that you may have missed. Be sure to simply use the phone booth to activate that access point for later use. Same thing goes for the larger base camps. Be sure to activate them ASAP so you can travel around with ease while exploring. Stellar Blade's combat has a ton of layers to it. You have your basic combo strings that will expand to lengthier and more devastating combos, which can be unlocked on the attack skill tree. Be sure to practice those combos in the simulator. You can build your beta energy by simply attacking or performing a perfect dodge. My favorite has been the fully upgraded triplet skill, where this can stun enemies and also damage their balance gauge. Which skills are you using the most? Later in the game, you will eventually unlock the burst skills, which are extremely fun and satisfying to use. You build up the second meter by perfect dodging through various ways, such as blink, repulse, or just simply perfect dodging. Take note that the burst skill meter does not charge upon successful parries. Be sure to test out these fun skills in the simulator with an unlimited supply of burst meter. Tempest and Overdrive are my 2 favorites, where Overdrive increases your attack speed and power for a time, and Tempest goes full DMC Virgil mode and Clive's Odin mode in FF16. When it comes to bosses, a tip here is to get rid of their balance meter quickly, which is indicated with the yellow squares beneath their shield. Perfect parries will deplete each square, but you can also perform a fully upgraded BE beta skill that indicates, quote unquote, damages the balance of the enemy, that will also remove 1 yellow balance square. Once you deplete all balance squares, the boss will be open for a visceral attack by pressing triangle, which deals a ton of damage. You can also stagger bosses or even regular mobs by depleting their shield, which will allow for a few hits before they regain their balance. Perfect dodging has several types of indicators. You have a blue indicator, which can be performed by pressing up and circle. A tip here is to wait for Eve's sword to glow blue to perform this dodge. This will also stun the enemy. You can obtain this skill on the survival skill tree called Blink. The purple indicator is executed by pressing down in circle, which will then perform a back kick that separates you and the enemy, revealing their weak point, which can then be exploited using your ranged weapon. Wait for the glow on Eve to perform this. This can be acquired on the survival skill tree called Repulse. The yellow indicator is executed by simply pressing circle. Eve will perfect dodge backwards by default, but you can also perform side dodges by pressing left or right and then circle. Take note that you can refund skill points for each tree by using one SP initializer, which can be purchased at the shop for 200 gold. Check your equipment menu often, as you obtain quite a few exospines and gear that will assist with your playstyle. I tend to like fast gameplay, so I went with 2 attack speed gear pieces coupled with crit boost gear and perfect combat gear. Comment below on which gear pieces you're using. Another tip here is the random chairs and seating. They are littered throughout the game, and they are not considered full camps. So if you'd rather not reset the mobs when you sit down in a zone, but rather just fill your health instead, be sure to grab a seat at various spots and locations, as these simple rest areas will not reset the mobs, but they will fill up your HP. Stellar Blade's healing consumables consist of 4 items. There's Rechargeable Tumbler, which is your default healing item, which restores a lot of HP. Think of these as your Estus flask that you can refill from resting at camps. I would use these as a last resort, however. There's more on why I recommend this later in this section of why I think you should do that. Lingering Potion continuously restores HP for a time, which then can be bought at the shop for 300 gold each. Highly concentrated potions instantly restore HP and are great for when you're in a pinch. These can also be purchased at the shop for 400 gold each. Biotic Field Generator will generate a biotic field on the ground that has a recovery effect within a set radius. This is a great way to recover your HP in stationary situations. These can be purchased at the store for 400 gold each. I would recommend using all of the shop version of the heals first, as these can be purchased on the fly without resetting enemies at each shop that you find. There is an overabundance of gold and camps in the game to compensate for this, which is why I tend to use the default Rechargeable Tumbler as a very last resort. The drone has a small skill tree that will open up towards the start of your playthrough. This is where you can upgrade your scanner and your ranged weapons. My recommendation is to get the scanner fully unlocked, as this will benefit your searches for secrets and those cans. Another nice upgrade is the slug ammo capacity. This will increase your capacity from 30 to 50. Highly recommended. Purchasing items from shop NPCs will increase their affinity, which is something I would recommend doing early on, as you will open more items, more cosmetics, and more materials. Look for the level of affinity in the top right corner of your screen and max this out simply by purchasing from that NPC. Share your tips in the comments below. Thanks for watching.